Hi, this is Rachel from Orange Brackets. Welcome to today's tutorial. We're jumping into a real scenario at Bloomify. Reviews are flooding in across email, the App Store, and social, and leadership needs a clear daily pulse before the board meets on Friday. Our goal is simple: turn raw comments into a live snapshot of customer emotion, highlight the top pain points, and route the most urgent issues to the right owners. We'll load real samples, apply a small but mighty prompt, and finish with a quick visual of risk levels. Let's start by loading the incoming reviews so we can see what customers are saying. Alright, let's kick off with our toolkit. Pandas for working with tables, and Matplotlib's plotting tools so we can chart things later. Now I'll set the reviews path to our incoming reviews CSV. Keeping the file location in one variable makes it easy to change sources without touching the rest of the code. Let's load that CSV into a data frame called reviews, turning the file into a table we can query, filter, and analyze. Quick sanity check. We'll preview the first few rows to confirm the load worked and to see the columns we're working with. Great, now we have a snapshot of feedback with channel, region, product, and rating. This gives us context. It tells us where complaints are coming from and who might be affected, like new users versus longtime VIPs. Why this matters is simple. A low rating from a VIP in a key region deserves faster attention than a minor gripe from a new user. With that in place, let's load the routing playbook so our AI can map signals to priority and owner. Here come the triage criteria. Think of this like an emergency room flowchart. If a review says cancel or refund, that's one path. If it says crash or login, that's another. Each signal maps to a priority and a clear owner. These are Bloomify's house rules, and our model will follow them so decisions are consistent every day. Alright, let's stash the location of our triage criteria CSV in a variable. One clean place to edit later, and the rest of the code won't need to change. Now we'll load that CSV with Pandas and keep the table in a variable called criteria. Reusing the path keeps things tidy and portable. Quick check. Let's peek at the first few rows. This confirms the file loaded and gives us a feel for the columns we'll be working with. Awesome, we've got a compact routing guide. We'll feed these rules into our prompt so each review is classified the same way every time. The output will route items to the right teams: care, the app PM, ops, or finance, with a stated reason. This keeps everyone aligned and reduces back and forth. Now we'll set up a tiny LangChain pipeline. We'll use an OpenAI chat model and keep the temperature low. In simple terms, low temperature means predictable results, like a referee using the same rulebook on every play. We'll also add a JSON parser so our outputs are clean and structured. That makes dashboards and summaries a breeze. Let's bring in our toolkit. Chat OpenAI from LangChain to talk to the model, prompt template to shape what we ask, a JSON parser so we can get structured answers back, and load .env to pull secrets from a .env file. Quick setup note: time to load our OpenAI API key so we can authenticate cleanly. Calling load.env reads the .env file and makes variables like OpenAI API key available to our code. No hard coding, nice and secure. Now we initialize the chat model with GPT-4o Mini for a speedy, cost-friendly choice, and set temperature to 0 so outputs are consistent and predictable. We'll keep it in LLM to reuse across prompts. And to keep the model's replies machine-friendly, we set up a JSON output parser. This will validate and convert the response straight into Python data we can trust. Let's craft a concise prompt. We'll ask the model to return neat JSON with sentiment, an emotion score, the main pain point, the risk level, the owner, and a short reason. We'll embed the triage rules so it follows Bloomify's playbook, not just vibes. We also pass context like channel, region, and rating, so the model can calibrate risk appropriately. Short prompt, clear structure, reliable output. First, let's turn our criteria table into a neat human-readable block. One line per row with the signal, its priority, and the owner. We'll join those lines with line breaks and stash them in criteria text so we can drop them into the prompt. Now I'm opening a multi-line template. This makes the prompt easy to write, format, and tweak without juggling a bunch of string pieces. We start by telling the model its role and that it must answer in strict JSON with fields like sentiment, emotion score, pain point, risk, owner, and a short reason. Next, a simple cue. Use these rules so the model knows a policy section is coming. Here we inject the criteria text we just built. Those per-signal guidelines become the model's rulebook right inside the prompt. Now we include the actual customer message by plugging in the text variable. That's the primary content the model will analyze. We also pass the channel, email, chat, social, so the model can account for context and tone. Same idea with region. It's useful for routing, language nuance, or compliance differences. And we include a rating value, extra signal about intensity or importance that can shape the output. To keep things clean, we make it explicit. Return only JSON, no explanations, no extra text. That closes the multi-line string. Our prompt template is ready to be compiled. Now we convert the raw template into a prompt template object, so it knows how to fill those placeholders at runtime. Finally, we wire up a simple pipeline. Format the prompt, send it to the model, then parse the result into structured Python data. One smooth flow end to end. Time to test on a small batch. Think of this as a heartbeat check, a quick daily pulse to see what's heating up. We'll run the first few reviews through the chain and inspect the results. We're looking for two things. Do the risk levels make sense? And are the owners the right teams to act fast? Let's grab the first 5 reviews as our small working set, and take a copy so any changes here won't touch the original reviews table. Now we transform that sample row by row into a list of payloads. For each review, we bundle the text, channel, region, and integer rating, and our criteria text, so each item is a clean dictionary ready to send. With those inputs ready, we'll push them through the chain as one batch, faster, consistent, no manual looping. Let's convert the raw results into a Pandas data frame, giving us tidy columns and rows to analyze. And we'll preview it, show the data frame so we can sanity check the outputs and field names. Nice. The model outputs are now in a data frame. Let's roll them up into a compact summary by channel and region. This turns scattered comments into a map of where attention is needed. Leaders can quickly see hotspots and decide where to send help first. Let's stitch these two tables together, sample and the raw data frame, side by side. We're concatenating across columns so the indexes line up and each row keeps its match. Great. Now let's build a quick pivot-style summary. Group by channel, region, and risk. Count the rows in each bucket, then spread risk across columns. Any missing combos become zeros, so the table's complete and easy to read. And let's take a look at summary. One clean view of counts by channel and region, broken out by risk, ready for reporting or plotting. Tables are great, but pictures win meetings. Let's chart the risk levels so the story pops. A simple bar chart makes critical and high stand out at a glance. This is perfect for a morning stand-up or a board prep doc. All right, first step. Let's bring in Matplotlib's plotting tools. This is our canvas and paintbrush for making charts. Now, from the out table, we'll tally how many reviews fall into each risk level and store those totals as risk counts. Great. Let's turn those totals into a bar chart, coloring the bars red, orange, and green for high, medium, and low risk. We'll keep the axes object so we can style it next. Let's add a clear title so it's obvious what we're looking at. And we'll label the axes, count on the left, risk levels along the bottom. I'll tighten the layout so nothing overlaps and the labels have some breathing room. Finally, let's draw it. Pop the chart up on screen. Quick recap. We turned raw reviews into an actionable pulse, sentiment, intensity, pain points, risk, and owner. We made urgent items visible and routable, and we highlighted where the heat is by channel and region. Next steps are straightforward. Run this on the full day's reviews, schedule an hourly refresh, generate an immediate replies list for critical items, and send owner-specific digests. The result is a calm, reliable daily view of customer mood and what's driving it, so your teams can act before issues become headlines. Thanks for following along. I'm Rachel from Orange Brackets, and I'll see you in the next one.